So this one, did you get the case number on this one she sent me? Okay, I'll need that order.
Let me see. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. As soon as we get to Mr., is it Angie?
Yes, Angie's the last name. That is correct.
Okay, as soon as we get Mr. Angie on, we'll finish your case up for you.
Thank you. Your Honor, I have to start driving to a different job location. Can I start doing that? Or
You're gonna be driving in your vehicle?
yes.
Sure, I don't
And
think
then I'll
I'm
pull
gonna need
over a
any-
little.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think I'm gonna need any paperwork from you.
Yes,
So if you can listen and drive at the same time,
yes,
that's fine.
yes.
That's fine with me. Just be very careful.
Thank you.
There, that's Gregory Miller.
I think she's sending over another case. It's 20 GTV 2777768.
Okay, he didn't announce a docket call, so this has just gotten here. Miss Angie, I might as well take your, well, I guess I'll wait on him. I don't know where he went. Oh, he's talking to Judge Heppard now. He must be having trouble. Morning, Mr. Miller.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I didn't see you this morning, so I'm assuming you came in a little bit late. But so Judge Heppard wants me to hear your case. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I will be right with you. I've got this one case before you, and then I'll be right with you. On your case, I had some notes on it. I think we're ready to go, but there's one. Okay, did she tell you that we need an inventory?
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, Your Honor. I looked everywhere for a different form of some sort and never found it. Also, everything that's actually in the decree, I mean, is basically all honest about the properties and of any source that we have. We both really have nothing.
Okay, well, I'll come back to you in just a second because there's another, on your case, I have to attach your prior order to this current order, and that's going to take my clerk a second to do. So your case is going to take a little bit longer, I think, than this other case. I'm going to go ahead and take them, and then I'll be right with you. You'll be the next case that I take up. And we
Okay,
can.
are we talking about the child support order?
Yeah, the child support order on the decree you filed, it says that it's attached as Exhibit A, but then it's not attached. But I can fix that for you. The clerk can print that out, and that's easy for me to fix. I just need to talk to you about that inventory, and it may be that we can go forward without the inventory, but I'm going to need to swear you in and get some testimony on that. So we'll do
Okay,
that in just 1 second.
All right,
Mr.
thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Angie, if you can get your video up and running, we're going to take care of y'all real quick.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. and Miss Angie, if you would please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you're going to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Angie, if so you're the petitioner, do you know what to say in order for me to grant the divorce, or do you need me to ask you some questions?
Ask me questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Are you presently married to Molina Angie?
Yes, Your Honor.
And prior to filing this petition for divorce, did you live in Texas for the 6 months immediately before you filed this?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you also live in Fort Bend County for the 90 days immediately before you filed this divorce action?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has your marriage to Miss Angie become so bad the two of you can't live together as husband and wife?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Is there a reasonable expectation if I don't grant the divorce today that the two of you can go back living together as husband and wife?
No, Your Honor.
How many children were born during the marriage?
One.
And is that Peyton?
Yes, Your Honor. Peyton Nicole, John Angie.
And how old is Peyton?
She turned 8.
Looks like she just turned 7.
No,
in Jan-
she's 7.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
7.
And so have you reached an agreement with your wife regarding custody, visitation, and support of Peyton?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you feel all those agreements are in Peyton's best interest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you also reached an agreement with your wife or were there any other children born or adopted during the marriage?
No, Your Honor.
And to your knowledge, is Miss Angie expecting a child right now?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor.
And have you also reached an agreement with your wife dividing up the property and the debt that the two of you have accumulated over the course of the marriage?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you feel that agreement is fair to both you and your wife?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you asking me to approve the agreements that you've reached with your wife and grant you a divorce today?
That is correct. Yes, Your Honor.
One last question. So in here, I believe you have no child support. Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Can you
We're in custody.
tell me briefly what kind of work you do, what kind of work your wife does, and why you think that it's in the best interest of your daughter not to have either party paying any child support?
I work in IT field since '99. Been here since. Currently, I've been working from home since 2012 remotely. My wife is a nurse at the Women's Hospital. We currently share custody of our kid. Every week, we meet up on Fridays and drop her off. She spends the whole week and comes back. Fridays are rotating day. During summer and school, I've been taking care of. Molina has been bringing Peyton to me, so she'll be here while she's at work because Zoom is basically at like last year, school was conducted online, so there's nobody at home. She's at work, so I was just happy to just keep her here even on Molina's week. So she's home with me during school, and when she gets off at 5 o'clock every day on her week, I'll go drop her off, meet up halfway where we normally meet on Fridays, rotating Fridays.
So is it your testimony that you make enough money yourself to take care of your daughter without any financial support from your wife?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
And do you feel that she, as a nurse, makes sufficient income to provide for your daughter's needs without any financial assistance from you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And it sounds like that you and the mom have been working together well. And do you think that if there is some kind of unexpected expense that comes up for Peyton that's extraordinary, the two of you'd be able to work out together and co-parent and get that bill paid?
Absolutely, Your Honor. I feel strongly about that.
Okay. Thank you for your testimony. Miss Angie, if I were to ask you all the same questions that I just asked your husband, would your answers be the same or similar?
Yes, Your Honor. I agree. I do just want to add in, we do co-parent pretty well. As far as the child support that you just asked, John, we co-parent pretty well, that I am confident, and that if Peyton's well-being is in question regarding whether we do or do not have child support, I don't have any doubt that John would not hesitate to help out.
Okay.
So
And so, ma'am, do you think all these agreements that you've reached with Mr. Angie are in Peyton's best interest?
yes, Your Honor.
And are you also requesting that I approve all these agreements and grant you a divorce this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court has heard your testimony. I want to applaud you both for co-parenting like you're doing. Please, keep doing that. That is definitely in Peyton's best interest. I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I can tell you, I see kids that suffer all the time from parents that are at each other's throats. And it's very refreshing to have two people in front of me that are making decisions, not necessarily what's in their best interest, but what's in their child's best interest. And I appreciate that. And I want y'all both to know that. I'm granting your divorce. I'm approving the agreements that you've reached, and I've signed your divorce decree. You can get a copy of this order from the district clerk's office here at the courthouse. And you can do that anytime after about 5 minutes or so. Okay. Best of luck to
Thank you.
both.
Thank you, Your
Thank you, Your
Honor.
Honor.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Miller, to make this docket entry, and then we'll take up your case. So I guess on this one, sounds like you're already printing up the child support order. Oh, is there 2 orders in this one too? 3 orders? No, let me look at them because I probably, the one that has the possession and access I'll need. And then the last one is probably just modifying child support. So I probably just need the third one because the second one probably did the same thing. Okay, Mr. Miller, we're working on your case now. She's printing some stuff up because I'm gonna have to fix your order a little bit. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
So I'm gonna need that final decree. It was filed 111 also. All right, so you put none pretty much on all the property.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
Your Honor.
so basically, because we're not on the record yet, in a minute, because this is a default and your wife didn't file an answer, we have to do what's called a record, which means I'm going to have a machine that takes down everything that I say and everything that you say here in just 1 second. And when we start off, I'll say a bunch of junk at the very beginning that needs to be on the record. And then what I'll do is I'll swear you in. At the time that I swear you in, normally what I'll do is I'll just say, you may proceed. I don't know if you heard the questions that I asked the people before you, but normally I need you to testify about that. When both parties are here, a lot of times I'll ask the questions, but generally when I just have one side, I don't do that because it can give the appearance that I'm helping you out. And as a judge, I can't help either side out.
Right.
Do you know what to say? Like, do you have some sample testimony of what to say?
I have a proof of sheet in the notes.
Perfect. That's what I'm gonna need is that prove up note. And so if you've got that, after I swear you in and I say you may proceed, you can just read that to me. And that'll probably give me 90% of what I need in order to grant the divorce. And then if I have any questions, I'll ask those to fill in any gaps. But the one thing I will need you to say that's probably not on there is your decree says that you don't have any property, she doesn't have any property. And so if you'll basically say, Judge, I mean, if that's the case, we don't have any property other than personal effects and some furniture and nothing of significance. And I'm going to keep what's mine. She's going to keep what's hers. And if that's what the testimony is, then I don't necessarily need an inventory because I'm finding that there is no community estate to divide. So, or at least not a significant enough one. So if that's what your testimony ends up being, I may be able to finish your case without you having to do an inventory, but I won't know that until I hear what all you have to say. So we're going to get on the record here in just 1 second and we'll get started.
All right. Let me transfer this proof of sheet that I have to my other phone so I can actually be able to read it out.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm getting the record set up, so it's going to take me probably 60 seconds or so to do that. Take your time. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Miller, I'm ready whenever you are. Just, you can, whenever you get that set up, just start your video and we'll get on the record.
Okay. Almost ready.
What was the date of the second order?
November 25th, 2000.
Waiting on it to finish uploading. Okay, let me get back on this screen. All right, can you see me?
Yes, sir. Okay. Ready to go. We got a lot of paperwork here. You're gonna have a thick order because we have two orders out of the child support office that I have to attach to your decree. So you're gonna end up with a pretty thick book here by the time we finish, but it'll have everything you need in one document here in just 1 second. All right, let me get her service information. And does she pronounce her name Jerlene or Jerry Lynn? Mr. Miller, does your wife pronounce her name Jerlyn? Sorry, I can't hear you now. Are you able to hear me, Mr. Miller? Mr. Miller, are you able to hear me? Mr. Miller, you may have to log out and log back in.
Your Honor, I can't hear you if you're saying anything.
I can hear you, but you can't hear me. So I'm sending you chats. If you can read the chat, I'm trying to get you to log out and log back in and see if that fixes it. Are you able to hear me? Mic check, mic check.
Can you hear me now, Your Honor?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, good. Okay, I checked my microphone and everything said it was working properly, so I'm not sure what happened there. All right, let me, I'm writing on your order. Give me 1 second. The court's on the record in cause number 20, ECV 277768, in the matter of the marriage of Gregory Miller and Jerlene Miller. Sir, if you would, please, or is that how she pronounces her name, Jerlene, or is it Jerry Lynn?
Geraldine,
Jerlene? All right, Mr. Miller, if you would please state your name for the record.
Gregory Miller Jr.
All right, and the court's going to take judicial notice that the respondent, Jerlene Miller, was served with citation, the original petition for divorce, standing temporary mutual injunctions on a divorce with children, as well as a proposed final decree of divorce. Those documents were served on Ms. Miller on February the 2nd of 2021 by Constable Mike Beard's office. That return of service is in the court's file and has been for the requisite 10 days. The court's going to also take judicial notice that there's no pleading, no answer filed by Ms. Miller, and there's been no appearance by her in this case. Her deadline for filing an answer is passed, and we're going to proceed at this point with a default. Is Geraldine Miller in the courtroom? Geraldine Miller. Deputy, could you please call that name in the hallway 3 times? There was no response to the respondent's name being called in the hallway or to the respondent's name being called in the courthouse or courtroom. The court finally is going to take judicial notice that the petitioner has filed a non-military declaration stating that the respondent is not actively serving in the armed forces, as well as a certificate of last known mailing address for the respondent. Mr. Miller, if you would please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony that you're going to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Miller, you may proceed.
Your Honor, my name is Gregory Bernard Miller Jr. I filed this suit for divorce from my spouse, Geraldine Miller. At the time I filed for divorce, I lived in Texas for at least 6 months and in Harris County for at least 90 days.
Wait, hold on. You're in Harris County?
I'm in Harris County. She's in Fort Bend County.
Okay, well, so did she live in Fort Bend County for the 90 days before you filed this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
I am asking for a divorce because our marriage has become unworkable and there is no reasonable expectation that we will get back together. My spouse and I have 2 children under the age of 18 that are still in high school. There has already been a final court order for custody and support for our children, and I am not asking for any changes at this time. The order was made in Fort Bend County, and the cause number for the order is 00131-57906. I have attached copy of the order to my final decree as an exhibit. My wife and my current wife and I are not expecting any children at this time. No one is pregnant in the matter. As far as property is concerned, neither one of us have property that we are fighting for. I am asking at this time that that um that the judge grants the divorce with no contest and nothing else that we're fighting for.
All right, thank you, Mr. Miller. Couple of questions. I've noticed on your final decree of divorce that you're proposing that I sign, you've put none down for pretty much all of your assets and all of her assets, other than some just miscellaneous personal property. Are you telling me that there's been no appreciable amount of community property accumulated by you and your wife over the course of this marriage?
No, Your Honor.
You're agreeing that there's no appreciable amount of community property?
I'm agreeing, Your Honor.
Okay. And so you're basically saying, Judge, there's no property. I want to just keep what's mine. She's going to keep what's hers. And you think that's a fair division of what you do have?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then also on these orders, I'm just going to correct for the cause number, for the record, the cause number 16 DCV 236401. I think that you were given the court the Attorney General's case number, which is a different number. But for purposes of the final decree of divorce, the court finds that there were two prior child support review orders, one dated October 18th of 2016 that set forth conservatorship, visitation, and support of the children. And then there were a couple of modification orders, but the most recent modification order was entered November 20th of 2019 that modified the child support related to the children. And the court is going to incorporate those two orders into this final decree of divorce. So, Mr. Miller, based on your testimony that you don't want to change any of those provisions, we're going to keep those the same as they are. Do you believe that all those agreements, or do you agree that all those orders and provisions in those orders are in your children's best interest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were there any other children born by Jerlene during your marriage to her, other than the ones that are dealt with in this divorce?
No, Your Honor.
And to your knowledge, is she currently expecting a child?
No, Your Honor.
Now, I know that you put in here that you wanted me to change her name. I'm not allowed to do that because she hasn't specifically requested that, and it's her decision. If she wants to change her name, you can't do that for her. So I struck through that provision, but otherwise, everything that you have asked for, Mr. Miller, in your final decree of divorce is granted, and I have signed your order of divorce. And with that, we're going off the record. Thank you, Mr. Miller. You can get a
Thank you, Your
copy.
Honor.
You can get a copy of this order from the district clerk's office, but you're officially divorced. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.